And we're going to call on Roy Sturmey to introduce our next inductee, Arthur Gerard, Jerry Burke.
Good afternoon. Inductees, family members, friends, members of Town Council, and Mayor Chisholm Beaton. It's my pleasure to introduce Arthur Gerard Jerry Burke for induction into the Port Hawkesbury Sports Wall of Fame in the athlete category for the year 2017. It is a hockey player that Jerry wishes to be inducted, but most of us know that was just one of the several sports he excelled at. Jerry participated in hockey while at high school, and he also led the high school basketball team. He went on and played midget hockey in the minor hockey system, and from there he entered Junior B competition. And Jerry was a member of the Strait Pirates, which won the Eastern Canadian Championship in 1967-68. And the next year he led the Strait Pirates to the Nova Scotia Junior B Championship. Jerry attended the academy in Sydney for his grade 12, and he played for the Cape Breton Metros, who went on to win the Maritime Junior A Championship. And at the end of that season, Jerry was invited to attend training camp at Cenevex and Boston College. Jerry, however, had a major decision to make. Do you pursue your sports, or do you get on and get a job and get trained? So Jerry decided to take a trade vocational school, and he was able to secure a position at the local mill. And Jerry became a career man at Stora and retired as a supervisor after 30-odd years. Jerry began to officiate hockey games, and over a 25-year span, he obtained his level 5, and he was one of the few officials to do so in the area. He refereed high school, minor junior, junior A, junior B, college, and university hockey. Jerry was an official at the first Canada Cup, which is now called the TELUS Cup, and he also served on the chef of missions at one of the Canada Games. Jerry coached Strait Pirates during the 71-72 season, and he worked with Eldon Crothers coaching in the minor hockey ranks in the early 70s. Jerry also went on and became a coordinator when the Strait Pirates hosted the Johnston Cup. Most of his involvement in hockey took up Jerry's time during the winter. His summers were also very busy, and he was a member of several teams that played baseball in the RABA, and he even traveled with one of the teams when they came in second at the Canadian Senior Championship. Jerry played softball with several local teams and also won local championships. After he had retired, he took up skiing, but his career was cut short with his hip injury. In his spare time, he found Peggy McMaster, and they were married, and they had 2 sons, Brent and Bevan, and one of the sons here tonight. Jerry and Peggy have also been blessed with 3 grandchildren. Both of them love to travel, especially to see the grandkids. Jerry is often just as busy as when he was working. During the summer, he is a landscaper, and he looks after lawns for people, and he does repairs. He's an amateur photographer and takes pictures of many of the places that he travels to. Both he and Peggy have a lovely home with well-kept gardens and a spectacular view of the Strait, out in Pregnish. Jerry is also a member of the Morning Lodge meeting, which is held at Tim Hortons on Reed Street, affectionately known as the Liars Club. So with these remarks in mind, Mayor Chisholm Beaton, I again introduce the name of Arthur Gerard Jerry Burke to be inducted to the Port Hawkesbury Sports Wall of Fame in the athlete category for 2017, and I ask Jerry to come forward.
Thank you. After all that, I don't know really what to say, but one of the things I'd like to say that I'm very pleased and very happy and very humble to be here today accepting this award. And Roy or John already said it. I think you got to give a lot of credit to Mayor Chisholm, the town of Port Hawkesbury for hosting this event every 2 years. Also for the committee that's not recognizable all the time, but they're behind the scenes doing the work. And I'd like to thank my nephew Stan McNeil for submitting my application to the committee. And friends and neighbors and family members, especially my brothers, sisters, and my wife Peggy and my two sons Brett and Bevan. Brett made a big commitment to come from Toronto this weekend, leaving these 3 babies behind in Toronto, and I thank him for that. Also, Bevan, our youngest boy, is in BC, and due to his work commitment, he's not here. We talked to him last night, and he'd love to be here. Jason, I'd like to congratulate the other nominees, Jason, Billy Joel, and the baseball team of '84, and congratulate them on this also. It was funny that Jason brought up Tiger Mackey's name, because one of the stories that I'd like to tell today is that I want to bring you back about 25 years, and it was in the old rink at Port Hawkesbury, and I played in my first Tiger Mackey tournament, and it was kind of amazing to sit where I sat in 1967 and 1968 with the Strait Pirates. As I looked down and I was thinking to myself, what a great atmosphere it is in this dressing room, and to be here so many years later still playing hockey. As I looked down to the far end of the dressing room, I see the NHL president, John Sigler, sitting there. And to his right, or his left, there was 2 NHL hockey players dressing up for the Strait Pirates, and they were Dennis Hall and Pat Stapleton of the Chicago Blackhawks. And a few players down, a former Strait Pirate and an NHL hockey player also, Hilliard Graves. And to my left, where I was sitting getting dressed, a great friend of Cape Breton Island and a great friend of the Tiger Mackey tournament, John Allen Cameron, playing his 12-string guitar and just finishing up on one of his favorite songs, Out on the Mire. And it was, to my right, Tiger Mackey was there struggling to get on a pair of pantyhose. And when I looked over the second time, I thought he was doing pretty good, because he had his left leg pretty well up to his thigh, but on his right leg, his toes were stuck in the heel of the nylon. So at that time, somebody at the other end of the dressing room hollered out, "Tiger, when is the first time you put pantyhose under your hockey gear?" And Tiger kind of got up in a half stand and he smiled at everybody and he said, "The first time my wife Elsie found a pair in the dash of my truck." I'm just going to tell you one other story about refereeing, and it was again in the old rink, and it was the game between the Pirates and the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs met them that night pretty bad, and I was leaving the referee's room, going by the Pirate dressing room, and one of the Pirates came out, and most people here would know him, John Walsh, better known as the Rook. He came out and he was coming behind me, and he hollered to me, he said, "Hey Burke, you must have eyes in the back of your head." So I took that as a compliment, and I turned around and I thanked him, and he said, "Because you don't have any in the front." So anyway, for this award, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.